Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Stock Country with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've covered this week's Marvel books as well as this week's Batman books, and we still have more DC books to go. So, let's get right to it, shall we? Kicking things off with Infinite Frontier number 4. Where we left off, Justice Incarnate was investigating a time ship which seemingly, or a multiversal vessel which had been carrying the Flashpoint Batman. Or, actually, not. The wreckage of a ship that was carrying, among others, the Flashpoint Batman. The wreckage was scattered about various areas on the multiverse, however. Meanwhile, Obsidian and Alan Scott's search for Jade led them to a DEO facility where multiversal arcs were being loaded with prisoners at the behest of Director Bones. With Roy Harper, Roy had went searching for his daughter and ended up in near one of these DEO multiversal arcs where, well, Hector Hammond, back to factory specs and working for the DEO, tried to take Roy into custody, only for a team of Justice Society members led by none other than Jade to attack and turn the tide in Roy's favor. And Flash is running. So, we start off. Captain Carrot is talking with Machine Head, thinking, maybe after this whole investigation's over, he's going to take a break. Settle down with a nice bunny. But, Machine Head worries that President Superman and Flashpoint Batman's investigation has taken them deep into unusual territory. So, President Ellis talks to with Courtney, one of his advisors. Basically giving some more time so he can continue to do, so he can continue to do Superman stuff. The two of them go after, after Lex, and they find the specs for the multiversal arc, as well as a dead Lex Luthor. Batman ruminates over the fact that he feels he does, while he knows his son is out there in the multiverse and is well thought of, he didn't leave things well with Bruce, so he'd rather not see the aftermath in person. On Earth Zero, Cameron Chase is discussing what happened with Captain Atom with Director Bones, namely the fact that Captain Atom, before exploding, said 2 words: "Darkseid is." But Obsidian and Alan Scott both want to know where Jade is, and Extract, who saved Chase from dying in the explosion, explains what happened. saying that she's lost, she resisted, and paid the price. So the two of them are loaded aboard the Ark. Extract tells Bones that there was word from Hammond that he got his hands on Roy Harper. But apparently Bones has made a deal that will keep Zero protected from the rest of the multiverse. And realizing that Bones is likely to make a deal with one of various or possibly even multiple devils, Chase shoots him as the Ark takes off. Meanwhile, with the JSA members and Roy Harper, they see a Black Lantern attack, or go for the attack, but Roy is acting defensively. The assembled JSAers are Jade, Damage, Atom Smasher, Wildcat. I don't remember her name, the female Wildcat's name, but it's the female Wildcat, not Ted Grant, and Power Girl. It takes a little bit of you get the tried and true two heroes meet for the first time, meet for the first time ish and fight trope. But Jade realizes that it's Roy Harper, and she manages to snap him out of being of the ring's thrall. And Damage and Roy explains what's going on, how the ring showed him that his daughter's alive, but Damage asks why not just take the ring off? And Roy says because for all he knows, that's the only thing that's keeping him alive. Jade tells the story of what happened. They were attacked by Extract and her forces. However, the weapon that Extract had reacted oddly with Starheart, and she ended up in the bleed. So, the ship goes to its destination, which is apparently Earth Omega, and Roy is well aware where this place is, explaining that the ring showed it to him and showed him Darkseid. But apparently the ring wanted Roy to go there. And they look out the window, and apparently the Anti-Monitor's shadow demons are flocking to the planet, while Barry Allen has been manipulated by Psychopirate, running basically a giant hamster wheel. Atom Smasher suggests that they take the Ark back to Earth Zero, get the Justice League, the Titans, the rest of the JSA. However, Roy has to find out if his daughter is down there. However, then Bones' Ark arrives, crashing into the other one. Meanwhile, there's a Mayday. In the totality, or the House of Heroes, alarm's gone off. The Harbinger computer system silences the alarms as President Superman and Flashpoint Batman return. The Machine Head has reconstructed the shuttle. And President Superman asked Harbinger to show him all signs of multiverse of travel since the multiverse was restored. But his request was denied. This is a message from Barry. Batman asks to see his son and sees various versions of him throughout the multiverse. The message from Barry is a warning, but Flashpoint Batman, realizes that he didn't beat his son. In fact, his son came back stronger, and he has his family with him. However, something is going wrong, and President Brand decides that they're going to Earth Omega as well. Only for Flashpoint Batman to be zapped by Machine Head, who then zaps the rest of Justice Incarnate. He explains that his world, Earth 8, was invaded by an alternate reality. They tried to fight the war in secret, but ultimately they lost. Machine Head lost. And for years he questioned how, and all those signs pointed to one place, Earth 0. But he explains he doesn't want to destroy the multiverse, just keep it separate. No more crossovers. However, he's not the only one. There are a lot of people in the multiverse who felt the same way. So they came together knowing there must be sacrifice to correct a great injustice. And I've been trying to think since I first heard this who it was. I'm realizing that he's basically Iron Man analog from Earth 8, which is the home of a very, very clearly it's supposed to be a pastiche of the Marvel universe. Much as how in Marvel you've got the Squadron Supreme, which is a pastiche of DC, namely the Justice League. But the people who Machine has brought together: Lady Quark, Superwoman of Earth 3, it's the new one, Donna Troy, Dr. Sivana, Magog, presumably Kingdom Come Magog, a Sinestro Corps Joker, Fate from the 90s Fate series. We're talking the guy that had the friggin' Ankh tattoo over his eye, his costume then was one of those 90s of 90s costumes. And I'm not sure who this larger one is. Clearly from Earth X, though. And that is where the issue ends. Honestly, I'm really loving Infinite Frontier, and it's kind of refreshing that you got to see an event like a quasi event title like this where there aren't 50 different tie-ins. There's just the series. I mean, it's a story that affects everything, but at the same time, they're able to tell it with just one book. I'm not saying that that's preferable. I don't mind tie-ins that focus, that say, oh, what's this group doing? What's that group doing? That's all well and good, but at the same time, sometimes you just want to read one story. Anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Justice League's Last Ride, number 4, which actually does the whole concept of telling two different stories, a past story and a present story, right. Basically, we get all the past story at once, as opposed to just flashbacks throughout for it to lead to some huge surprise. But yeah, so before where we left off, the League was holed up on Apocalypse. They're going to take, and they were working on plans to, to defend themselves as well as Lobo, until Lobo could stand trial. So in the past, when the Justice League invaded Apocalypse to try and save the Earth, Batman and Martian Manhunter were trying to stop the boom nukes from going through. They couldn't stop them, but they could potentially depower them. But it was very specific and was probably going to lead to a sacrifice. So Calabac shows up. Martian Manhunter takes down, manages to take him down. Batman suggests that Wonder Woman take care of the reactor, but she's been injured, and so Jean volunteers to do it. But Batman says, Batman is against it. Superman says, hey, your weakness is fire. It'll kill you. He'll do it. But Superman's on Oa fighting Darkseid. And Batman's like, hey, hey, don't get me wrong, Clark. Smart idea, but you're on Oa. Apocalypse is too far away for you to get here in time. Superman wants her to be another way. His fight with Darkseid's kind of on an even keel, But Green Lantern's not really doing much to stop Darkseid, but yeah. Eventually, Darkseid is, Darkseid turns his attention to Hal Jordan, and Superman decides to go back to Apocalypse. And by the time John tells the League that they're the greatest people he's ever known. It's one thing to simply know great people, but it's another to be able to call them friends. He thanks them for everything and tells them he'll see them on the other side. In the present, an armada of ships has shown up, and, well, Wonder Woman and Green Lantern take care of them, doing what they can to, non-lethally stop the armada. But, yeah, it's a huge armada. Batman and Green Lantern are going through trying to turn some of the defenses back on. The reason Batman wanted Green Lantern is that, well, Hal is just a living power battery now. Lobo explains to Superman that he didn't kill the New Gods, the people of Apocalypse. No, he just delivered them to somebody. Most of the time, at least. Some of them he killed, yeah. But most of them, if any of them die, it was at the hands of his employer. Though he's not going to say who his employer is, because, well, Lobo's got ethics. Though, as far as Superman's concerned, he's just as complicit. The battle rages on in space, however, and with the arrival of Mongol. Back on the planet, Flash and Superman are discussing Lobo getting under Superman's skin, basically, when they notice there are vehicles approaching. And standing on top of the forefront of the vehicle at the forefront, is Cyborg Superman. And in the sky behind him, the Manhunters. And that is where the issue ends. Last Ride is really great, and I'm kind of sad that it's going to be going to be just a miniseries, not it kind of has to be with the name Last Ride, but yeah, it's so much fun. I'm loving it. Anyways, on to our last book of the week, Rorschach, number 11. Where we left off, our investigator had quite likely uncovered the full truth of what's happened, of the plot against Senator Turley. But he spends the issue discussing and confirming what his suspicions with the kid and the artist. Basically, what it boils down to is turns out that they were set up to fail by the Turley campaign. They were not set up to take out Turley because he was a threat to Redford. Now, Vietnam was going to was going to go for Redford, and that would steal the election. But however, if maybe it looked like the Redford had sent assassins to take out Turley, and they failed, well, that might change opinions. So the Turley campaign, upon realizing that they could actually that the kid could actually make the shot, Oates, who got them their badges, tried to stop him, winged the kid, and the kid fired back, hitting him. The secretary never called, but yeah, word got out that they were there, and security went to stop them, and yeah. Diane Condor, Oates' assistant. She was killed. She recorded her confession and was killed. It made it look like a suicide. But they basically tell the investigator that he's the one who's going to have to do it. And he's having he can't he's not gonna he tries to fight it, and then eventually, lying on his bed, he gets a phone call. He's gonna meet with Turley. So he gets up, washes, gets dressed, talks to a guy in the elevator, a guy in the elevator talks to him, and he simply responds with a and that is where the issue ends, leaving us one more issue. And that's going to be it for this week's roundup. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thoughts on Rorschach? I had no idea where this title was going, and now home stretch, it should be yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting concluding issue. But yeah, links to my like I said, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.